All right, hey, I'm back. Daniel here. And a little more of the story of what happened for me with the complaint-free challenge. Some of you know already that I've talked about complaint for years. I've led complaint fasts on our trainings. I've lectured about the importance of not complaining, the brain science, what it does to us, the brain science of what that does to us emotionally and mentally when we are grateful versus complaint. Nonetheless, when I stumbled into the complaint-free challenge, it was my partner at the time said, this is a great thing, we should do it. And I was like, yeah, I don't have to do that. But somehow it clicked one day, and I read the first chapter of my friend Will Bowen's book, and then it clicked. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I had no idea, because as soon as I started doing it, I was mortified. It was horrible. Because what I found out is I was incredibly addicted to complaining. It was really hard not to complain. I mean, it was to the point that I couldn't help it. And so sometimes somebody would say, hey, what's going on with, with the building at the studio? And I literally couldn't say anything. I was so used to it. And that's because, in part, because complaint is so culturally and societally sanctioned. We're so used to it. We're so addicted to it. And the idea with the complaint-free challenge is to go 21 days in a row without verbalizing a complaint. We're not talking about the ones in our heads. Though, when we change what we say, it also changes what we think. Anyway, the practice, the way it works, and this is the magic of it, is that you wear a bracelet. And is when you catch yourself complaining, and we all do, then we take the bracelet off, put it over to the other wrist, and that starts us over at the beginning back to day one. Because remember, it's 21 days in a row. And my experience of it was, after I got through the first really, really tough days, maybe 2 weeks of that, then I finally broke through and got to day two, and I was so excited. And then in the midst of day two, I inadvertently complained. And for me, it was often about Bali traffic. Then I would have to switch over to the other wrist and start over. So my experience was day one, day one, day one, day one, day two, day one, day one, day one, day two, day three, day one. And it went like this for about 7 months before I actually completed. And man, when I got up there to like day 15, day 16, and I went all the way back, and I persisted. So my advice, my encouragement to you is to, one, commit to it. Just say, you know what, I'm going to go all the way through this. And two, make it light, make it a game. Some friends of mine who were doing it, and some of the teachers we had at the studio were doing it, they got so goal-oriented and kind of ruthless with themselves. So when they did complain, and invariably we will, it was like, oh, and they got really upset about it. And I've been blessed in my life to know that I'm an idiot and that I don't know things, which gives me the possibility of learning things. So one of the keys to learning is just saying, I don't know, and there's no reason I'm supposed to know. So I assumed, once I got through those first hard days, like, you know what, anytime that I complain and I switch, well, that's me learning. That's me learning this process. And one of the great things about it is, as that's going on, before you get to 21, and for me it was before I even got to day 4, there were noticeable, measurable improvements in my life. Like really powerful ones. I was happier. Things were easier. I was more positive in my life. And literally what complaint is negativity. It's negating something. And when we hold it back, it changes our brain chemistry. It changes the thoughts we produce. It also makes us responsible for what's going on, rather than complaining about it. It says, all right, what am I going to do about this? This is inside of me. It gives us a sense of responsibility, and it creates a solution orientation rather than a problem orientation. I could go on and on about this because it's such a powerful process. I got so much out of it, and I've so appreciated how much I've been able to share with other people about it. For now, though, I'm inviting you, encouraging you to take it on as a yoga practice. In some ways, more powerful than an asana physical posture practice. And you don't have to do one or the other. They work together really well. It's such a blessing to have yogic practices like this that we can do all day long, not just when we're on our mat, not just first thing in the morning, not when we go to a class. It's all day. So get into it, commit to it, take it lightly, so when you mess up you go, oh, okay, well, I switched over, you know, and every step is learning, every step is lightening up. It is an enlightening process. All right, enough said for now, y'all. Thank you, for being interested in yogic awakening, for making your life into art. And I am your guide to the art of vibrant living, Daniel Aaron. See you soon.